I think anyone that has gone out to Belarus and have come back, with the right attitude, they understand, they know deep down what the problem is. You see, it's not just about Chernobyl. Chernobyl is the primary, of course, big problem, but it magnified problems that were already there. It magnified problems that were there pre-Soviet, pre the breakup of the Soviet Union. The orphanages just didn't appear in Belarus because of the Chernobyl disaster. There were orphanages all over these states long before Chernobyl disaster. And I think that the Chernobyl thing just magnified all the problems and put them into a different dimension. Volunteering is not about glamour at all, or it's not about the limelight, it's not about... If that's what you're in it for the wrong reason. And I'm constantly amazed at the amount of people that came into Esker, we'll say this year and last year, from outside and worked with the children. They cooked meals in the kitchen. They did all the jobs you don't see in the foreground. They did all the jobs in the background, cleaning up. And that was after doing fundraising beforehand to help to pay for this. I'm amazed at that, And I think people will volunteer if the atmosphere and they know that what they're doing is achieving something and it's genuine.
So these are two boys.
Okay, yeah.
First boy is Sasha.
Well, usually we just cooperate with the host families, the translation work, different kinds of connections with the host families. They phone very often, they come and ask to translate something for children.
The very first time I found it strange because they just went down to a room and the language barrier was the hard bit. But like that, after a few mornings, you're just very quick as well. I asked the interpreter to actually ask them, were they happy straight out, just to know that they were, because you would hate having them here if they weren't relaxed with you and happy, but I can't know that they are, do you know what I mean? Because Floyd was here last year as well.
Oh, right.
That's his second year.
Okay.
He gave me a big hug the first year I met him below in Esker again, so that was a good sign. But he wanted to come back.
Our aim out there is to help the weakest in society, the children especially. This is Dasha here. She has brain damage and she's also blind. So we help Natasha and her family with some medication, and we help with a little bit of support as well. So the daycare centre is very important to them.
Great kind of work was done, I'd say it was 3 years ago, to the daycare centre. Sometimes we call it disabled centre. Sunflowers renovated the building. And since that time, they have been supporting the children and the families and the centre itself.
The idea is based on self-help. The parents of these children run the daycare centre themselves in cooperation with us. We provide the facility. We help them with finances, with different resources that they require. And I think it's the best way to go, because once you get the parents of these children involved, it has a knock-on effect on others. I think it brings in the other people who were previously shying away from this kind of thing. And on top of that, the wider community outside that see the positive effect of this. And they begin to accept these children more in the community that they live in.
Если даже чуть-чуть загрустит приятель, я в окошко кричу, словно воспитатель. Попляшу с малышом, поиграю в прятки, а если дом ходуном, значит...
So this is Novinky Orphanage. It's an institution for mentally and physically disabled children.
Детский дом – это дом их проживания, это дом, в котором они живут, и в котором растут, в котором развиваются, и в котором должно быть, наверное, им очень тепло, уютно и удобно, самое главное. Никого нет. И если ребенку обычно радость приносят родители, то они этим обойдены.
We actually renovated 2 units here. We installed about 43 new double glazed windows and refurbished about 10 rooms used by the children, and turned it into a more child-friendly environment for them. We also purchased over 100 new hospital-type beds for them and cots to replace the old ones. We also have helped out with supplying some other equipment, some medical equipment and some wheelchairs, little walkers and things like that. Then we decided to get involved with helping the children in education and therapy. We'll say children who were previously lying on their backs in cots, doing very little, simply because the staff have so much to do with so many children. It was difficult to get these children out of these situations and get them stimulated. So you can see the results in Toma, little Toma and little Alosha, for instance. We visited them yesterday in Evinet's institution, and they left Novinky here because they had improved so much. They were fit to go on to an institution more suitable for them, where they can actually learn, like have some education, reading, writing, etc. If the facilities are in place away from the orphanage, a daycare centre, many of the children, like Toma and Alosha, can use these centres, and they take the pressure off the orphanage, where of course you're going to have intensive. You will always have special needs children that need intensive care and who won't be able to go through the normal integration into the community. By taking out the children who shouldn't be there, you create a better atmosphere and situation for the children who need intensive care. You take the pressure off the institution and you take the pressure off the staff. And in effect, my hope is that the authorities will see that. I think self-help is the way to go, with support from outside agencies like ourselves, or the time might come that they won't need us to do this. We have one young man, for instance, while he was here, been fitted with prosthetic limbs. Vlad is his name. I met Vlad through the opening of our first daycare centre. And I noticed that at the opening day of the centre, he was the oldest person present among the children. He would have been 30 at the time, I think. I was watching him in the corner. He was on his own, and he was just, to me, he seemed very depressed.
И на 4-м курсе с ним случилась вот эта беда. Ему было 25 лет, и когда ему ампутировали ноги, он перестал верить в людей, потому что даже близкие люди его оставили. Я не говорю, что все, но были люди, которые уже перестали общаться. И вот с тех пор он так и чувствовал себя неуверенно в этой жизни. Но благодаря вот людям, вот Пэту Дилану и волонтерам его, он почувствовал, что он почувствовал желание опять жить и работать, потому что он по своей натуре человек искусства.
We got him to Ireland. We didn't know how it would work out. We were worried that it might have a negative effect on if the prosthetic legs were not going to work for him. I was very worried about that because if he had to go back to Belarus, knowing that this wasn't going to work, I worried about the fact that he would go into just complete tailspin, if you like. Thankfully, that hasn't happened. It's positive.
И теперь, даже когда вдруг он встанет на протезы, конечно, это большой труд, это нужно будет иметь огромную силу воли, но я думаю, что здесь он должен преодолеть, конечно, это все.
I look forward to the day to see him walking, you know, I do. And to see Vlad from where he was come to that day, I think that would be in itself a big achievement. That would be very special, you know. We had host children in Athenry families, and we wondered about bringing the children from Belarus into the youth village. I just thought about being able to bring children to a situation where they could be together, and the youth village I felt might be a place where they could be together with their carers and with some of the interpreters.
Children who are here this time in Ireland, I mean, they are mainly from 3 different places. They are from Luninets, Mikashevichi, and from Chuchevichi. The children need to be taken care of, you know. Sometimes without their parents, sometimes they feel very independent, and just routine, which takes time actually, but still we enjoy. We enjoy it because, and we're happy that our children have different kinds of activities. They visit different places, and in this way they widen their horizon. This is part of their education. When they come back home, we feel them quite different children. The parents phone me very often and they ask me to send hellos, to send best regards.
Even going to Belarus, the guys that come along and the girls that come along to go to work out there, and some of them have been coming out there for the last, I don't know how many years now at this stage, and they still keep going back, you know. That's what amazes me, because, you know, in today's world everybody is so busy, but they still find the time.